When I got home after a long shift, my boots were caked in mud, my hands were sore and scraped, and the faint smell of engine oil clung to my clothes. She was at the kitchen island, scrolling through her phone like I wasn't even there. Her nails were freshly done, her hair curled just right, and a sleek black gown hung on the hook nearby. She didn't look up when I walked in. "Hey," I said gently. "You look amazing. Big night, huh?" She let out a long breath, one of those sighs that isn't an invitation to talk, but a warning to stay quiet. I set my old, dented lunchbox down on the counter, the one I'd carried with me for a decade and a half. "I can get changed if you want," I offered. "Wear that gray suit you like. Clean up a bit." She turned slowly to face me, her expression unreadable. "Actually, I think it's better if you don't come tonight." At first, it didn't hit me all at once. My heart didn't shatter. It cracked, slowly, painfully, like glass under tension. "Why?" I asked. She hesitated. Then she said it. "I told them you're a lawyer." I stared at her. "You what?" "They asked what you did, and I panicked," she said quickly. "I didn't mean to lie. It just came out. I couldn't say it. You fix garbage compactors. You clean up after people. My team is full of Ivy League grads. They wouldn't get it." I stepped back like her words had struck me. "So instead of standing by me, you lied about me." "It's just for one night," she said, frustration bubbling in her voice. "One little lie. I need this evening to go smoothly. I'm up for partner. And, look, if anyone asks, I'll say you're in the hospital. Please, just don't come." I didn't argue. I couldn't. I turned, walked into our bedroom, and closed the door behind me. That night, while she smiled for cameras and laughed under chandeliers, I sat alone on the porch, the sting of her betrayal sinking in deeper than any wound I'd ever known. But that's also the moment something inside me shifted. She thought I was just a garbage man. But I was more than that. Much more. And by the time that night ended, she'd see it too. While she sipped champagne and told jokes beneath glittering lights, I sat on our porch swing, staring into the dark. Her words looped in my head like a broken recording. Asterisk, I told them you're a lawyer. Stay away. I'll say you're in the hospital. Asterisk. I didn't sleep that night. I didn't drink. I made a plan. She never knew how I spent my time beyond the job. Every extra cent I earned over the last 15 years went into investments, stocks, rental properties, even early crypto. She never asked. She didn't care. And I never boasted. But now, with her lie fueling the fire inside me, I knew exactly what to do. Before the sun rose, I logged into all my financial accounts and transferred everything, cleanly and legally, into a new trust, one in my name only. No traces. No loopholes. Then I made a call to the HR department at her firm. I pretended to be a potential investor, said I needed to verify attendance at the gala. With the right tone and a little charm, they sent over the guest list and itinerary without much hesitation. There it was, Catherine Royce and husband Daniel Royce, senior counsel. Not only had she lied about what I did, she gave me a fake title to impress her colleagues. I laughed to myself. That evening, while she got ready, curling her hair, fixing her makeup, spraying perfume, I walked quietly out the back door. Not to interrupt her night. To end it. The venue glittered with elegance. Crystal chandeliers hanging like frozen rain, velvet curtains framing the walls, champagne stacked in dazzling towers beneath golden light. From the mezzanine, I watched quietly. I wasn't on the guest list. I wasn't supposed to be there. But I was exactly where I needed to be. Below, Catherine stood out in a red satin gown, exuding charm, false pride, and practiced grace. Her co-workers circled her, laughing, sipping their drinks. Then came her boss, Richard Collins, CEO, raising his glass high. A round of applause for Catherine and her brilliant husband, Daniel Royce, he said, to clinks and cheers. She smiled. My name sat like poison on her tongue. That's when the screen behind the stage lit up. It started simply. Truth matters. Who is Daniel Royce, really? Laughter died. The air stiffened. One by one, images filled the screen. Me, dressed in my sanitation worker uniform, a straightforward record of my job history, each role real and unembellished. Then her lie, A company submission listing me as a Harvard Law grad, a top-tier corporate counsel, a fabricated resume designed to impress. Whispers spread. Disbelief turned to doubt, then to judgment. Richard looked at her. "Is this accurate?" he asked. She fumbled for words. I didn't mean to. It was just easier to say he." The illusion shattered. I walked downstairs this time, no longer hidden. As I came into view, the room moved aside like I was something ghostly. She froze when she saw me. "Daniel," she said, almost breathless. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't cause a scene. I only said, "You were ashamed of me, Catherine. So let me make this easy." I handed her an envelope, our separation papers. Signed. Filed. Effective tomorrow. And with that, I left. As I walked away, I caught Richard turning to his assistant and saying, "We'll need to review her position." The lights dimmed. The event ended early. And everything she'd built began to come undone. The very next morning, her downfall gathered speed. An anonymous email circulated through the company's executive team, documents attached. False employment filings, screenshots of her bragging to friends about polishing her husband's background for social advantage, even video from the gala showing her stunned reaction. She never saw it coming. I never lifted a hand. Her own deceit carried the weight. By midday, she was in an emergency meeting. By late afternoon, her company access revoked. By evening, escorted out with her belongings in a cardboard box, shame written all over her face. She came home to silence. Our apartment was empty. The joint accounts were legally cleared, thanks to a prenup she hadn't expected me to enforce. Her car, under my name, repossessed by nightfall. She called, texted, begged. "Please, Daniel." It wasn't what it looked like. I was drunk. I didn't mean it. But I was already gone. And she didn't realize I'd been quietly building this escape for months, ever since I overheard her laughing on the phone to a friend. I can't let people know he picks up trash for a living. That would destroy my image. That moment, it broke something inside me. So I decided to return the favor, shatter everything she clung to. 3 days later, she came to the apartment I'd rented. Her makeup was smeared, hair wild, clothes wrinkled. A shadow of the woman who used to walk through offices like they were catwalks. "I've lost it all," she whispered. "My job, my car, my credibility." I said nothing. "I deserve this," she continued, her voice splintering. "But please, don't tell my parents. They still think everything's okay." I looked at her. "You mean the parents who laughed when you said I wasn't worthy of being seen beside you?" She blinked. "I sent them the video last night," I said. "Let them see who their daughter really is." Her legs wavered. "No. You can't. My father's company has a reputation. He'll cut me off." I let the silence stretch. "Isn't that what you did to me?" I asked quietly. She collapsed into tears, but that wasn't the final blow. That came later, when Daniel, her charming colleague, the one she leaned on behind my back, called me. "I didn't know she lied to me," he said. "Said you were gone, divorced. She asked to stay with me. Said she had no one else." I stayed quiet. "I told her no," he continued. "I'm not ruining my life for someone like that." I chuckled. "She's yours if you want her," I said, knowing he didn't. She had burned every bridge. And now, for the first time, she stood alone, forced to live inside the collapse she caused. 6 months later, I was on a rooftop, looking out over the city. Not a garbage collector anymore. Not the husband who once apologized for his work. I was a co-founder of a sustainable tech startup, holding shares, pride, and direction. Next to me stood Maya, a sustainability engineer I met through volunteering. She handed me a glass of wine and smiled. "To second chances," she said. I tapped her glass with mine. I still remembered the humiliation, the dinner where I was dismissed, the empty feeling of being a burden. But I also remembered the applause during our pitch, the way Maya looked at me when I spoke of cleaner futures, and most of all, my daughter's words, "Dad, I'm proud of you." As for Catherine, she was answering phones part-time. Her father had disowned her. Former colleagues erased her from their networks. Her online profile read, *open to work*. She sent emails, left voicemails, pleaded for a conversation. But some stories don't need closure, just distance.